Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to everyone. Yesterday, two different wins as far as the Champions League is concerned. Clearly, Kivu was very clear at the end of the match, but Inter has made it 4 wins out of 4. For those, and especially for those who only care about the result, it's a triumph. 4 wins in 4 matches. It's true, a tough schedule is coming up. You've only conceded one goal, and that was perhaps in the match where it was most expected, with all due respect to yesterday's opponents. But it was clear from the first 10 minutes that Inter's head wasn't quite in the game. It happens, it shouldn't happen, but you just need to get the boat back on course and resume sailing. Let's remember that Inter will finish against Lazio in the last match before yet another break, but that's another story. Atalanta at times was even dazzling in terms of personality in Marseille. De Zerbi's anger over the situation that didn't lead to a penalty, these are things that are part of the game and stay on the pitch, but those were really tough moments. Samarzic's great goal, Jurek was under scrutiny despite the denials that are part of the game, and he responded with an excellent performance. Lookman and Jurek's, for me, it's no surprise that they clashed because Lookman can end up on a collision course with anyone. But if you can, though, during the summer, you allowed Lookman to spend a month and a half between resorts and other things, and then he was reinstated as if nothing had happened. This is a walk in the park, a gentle touch, a joke compared to what actually happened. They'll clear things up, as Jurek said. Bai Chow, who is one of my guests this week, didn't have the impact he should have. I really like Greenwood, a lot. Lazio should have signed him. If Lazio had signed him, they would have he made a huge leap in quality because he's a pure talent who plays for himself but also for the team. It's time to take stock. Today, Fiorentina plays in Germany against Mainz, third match, 2 wins so far. In recent hours, there's been a lot more talk about coaches than about what's happening on the pitch, even at Fiorentina. As I told you, De Versa was the favorite and Vanoli was trailing behind. Then came the social media effect, the disappointment of the fans, actually much more than just disappointment with De Versa having been brought just a few dozen kilometers from Florence without even staying overnight in the city. They decided to go with Galoppa, who spoke yesterday and will coach the match today, and after that, as already thoroughly explained yesterday in a video here, Vanoli, unless there are any sudden changes, and if everything is settled with Torino regarding the termination of his contract, is set for a new cycle, 4 points in 10 matches. But what interests me, De Rossi is obviously official, Donadoni has been presented, so we're in the usual situation of shake-ups that were bound to happen sooner or later, because for too long nothing had been changed on the bench and it seemed like a sensational event. You'll see that other things will happen. The wait for Palladino continues, but there's a topic that interests me, and I'll give you some behind-the-scenes information that I think is quite sensational, which I believe hasn't been told until now, but it concerns Koopmeiners, who now feels much more at ease. I heard him speak after the match against Sporting with a different calmness, a different ambition, and he said something absolutely true, which was also a topic of discussion and debate on my channel with you all. I couldn't play in Conceição's position. I can't play as an attacking winger. If I was born round, I can't die square. If tomorrow I go and do something about the Miptel index, I'm bound to make a mess of it. It's not my field. I have to try to do my job in my own field, and so, in my opinion, Koopmeiners did well. And when I was telling you earlier about the confusion that was created, it didn't help Koopmeiners. How many videos have we made? One day he's in midfield, one day he's in a two-man midfield, another day as a mezzala, another day even as a winger, and at this rate, they would have put him in the kitman's place. In that position, it's a stroke of genius from Spalletti, in my opinion, and I have to laugh a bit at those who even try to equate the transfer fee with the fact that he's playing as a fullback. It's as if I were to ask, when Locatelli went to Juve for 40 million and keeps playing his role, does he prove he's worth 40 million? That's what you need to answer, not just the things that suit you, because otherwise we only direct criticism and observations in one direction. By the way, just to clarify, I don't have any personal vendetta against Locatelli, also because I've always had the utmost respect for him as a person. The problem is that I just don't like him. I saw that they even gave him a 7 after the match against Sporting. For me, he barely scrapes a 6, but a 7 is just not possible in my opinion. I don't like him because I prefer midfielders whose main strength is playing vertically, not just making little touches. Fullbacks, in my opinion, have no reason to exist, so it's better to be a fullback, better to be a defender than to be at the movies or the theater, because he was watching the matches like you watch a performance at the cinema, at the theater, a film, whatever you want. So for me, calling it a stroke of genius is just a way to protect the asset. It's like when you say, wait, let me throw something on it to save it, because otherwise it's going to ruin, it's going under. So these pointless controversies for me have no reason to exist, or if you want to have them, you need to have them about everyone and across the board. I'll give you some behind the scenes information that I believe has never come out before, because it's true that Napoli tried to sign Koopmeiners in the summer of 2023, right after Ferragosto, aiming for a big move. They even offered over 40 million, reaching 43 million. Luciano Spalletti was no longer there, and Atalanta's response was, he's worth a bit more, but after Ferragosto we don't sell to anyone. And the famous Koopmeiners promise, next summer if someone comes in, we'll let you go, but only if someone meets their conditions, and with bonuses, we've reached 60 million. But the behind-the-scenes story is that when Spalletti talked about Koopmeiners saying there was not enough money, just a little short, that it was not the right time to increase spending, we are referring to what happened around August 30th to 31st of 2021, involving Atalanta and Spalletti, who had just taken over and was a huge admirer of Koopmeiners, because he had been recommended to him back in the AZ days, precisely for his versatility, his ability to play in multiple roles. And in Naples he asked, get me Koopmeiners. July-August 2021. And that's when negotiations began with AZ, which is not the easiest club to deal with. Like all the Dutch and like all merchants selling valuable jewels, they didn't want to go below 15 million, 14 plus a percentage on a future sale. And Napoli at that time coming off a season, the one before Spalletti arrived, which had nonetheless resulted in expenses and everything else. They couldn't reach that amount. Do you know what happened? If you look at the timeline of this story, on August 30th, 2021, Gasperini's Atalanta signed Koopmeiners for, I believe, 14 million plus a 10 or 15% percentage on a future sale, getting close to the 15 that AZ had asked for. On August 31st, after realizing that Atalanta had signed Koopmeiners, who was a concrete target for Napoli, with an offer made but not close to 15 million, Napoli signed Anguissa on August 31st, officially announcing Anguissa's arrival in 2021 on loan with an option to buy set at 15 million. But even though it was set at 15 million, it was a I'll definitely pay, but I don't have to pay right away, unlike what AZ had asked me for Koopmeiners. So now Koopmeiners is reunited with Spalletti, who had wanted him at all costs at Napoli, but didn't get him, and instead welcomed a great midfielder like Anguissa. And just to make up for it, he found other opportunities for him. And to me, that's a great credit to him. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a great rest of your day.